I'm here in, what museum am I in right now?
Lizzie Nelson.
Lizzie Nelson. And so what I'm trying to learn from you is, what do you think is the difference between the African American experience and the African Caribbean experience, especially the one like in Bluefield and places like that?
Okay, here in Bluefields, our culture is a mix of the Afro slaves that was brought, and the British kingdom, because we were colonized by the British. Different from the rest of Nicaragua, we didn't have a violent colonization. It was, if we can call it, more peaceful. We even had a little kingdom set up here. We call it the Mosquitia, where they had a mosquito king. We know that he really didn't have any power. The power was from the British, but it was more like a peace thing, and when we knew that we were exploited, but other countries suffered a lot of violence. So our culture is a mixture of the Afro and the British. And that's where we inherited our language. Our Creole it has an English base, okay, because of the British. Then from the British, we also inherited what is one of our most popular culture today, which is the maypole dance. Okay, the maypole dance. Of course, it was transformed. You know, the Afro people has more rhythm. They put their own instrument. So that's one of the biggest inheritances that we still celebrate today, the maypole dance. But besides the maypole dance, we also learned other dances like shotis, polka, and Miss Lizzie Nelson was a person who really promoted those dances, and her objective was to maintain them original, because there was a time when the maypole was commercialized and people started to dance it in a very common way, not dressed the proper way, and so we are trying to rescue and keep maypole the way it was. So the rhythm, the culture, even the spirituality, I think it's a bit different from, I mean, Afro all around, we have these same things, you know, that love for music, that love for, and we are very spiritual. That's the part of our culture that people don't maybe see immediately and don't understand, but that's what keeps us as a black people, our spirituality.
Can I kind of summarize a little bit of what you said was the difference between African American and Afro Caribbean here? Is that I think you said one of the main differences is that you were able to maintain more of your culture because it was less violent, and it was easier to do that here?
No, what I was trying to explain, that in other parts where European countries colonized different places, it was done with violence. For instance, in the Pacific of Nicaragua, a lot of people died because they were very violent with them. They forced them to hard work, and they didn't have that strength. Before they brought black slaves from Africa, they used to enslave the indigenous, but they weren't as strong. Okay, so being that here we didn't have all that violence, and the relationship with the colonizer was, if I can say, a little bit more peaceful, there was that exchange of traditions and culture. So here in Bluefields, our culture is a mixture of the Afro traditions and the influence of the British. Okay? So that's what probably make it a little bit different.
And there was a history of slavery here at some point, right?
Of course. Precisely this month here in Bluefields is called Black Heritage Month. On the 10th of August, the last enslaved black people were freed in Bluefields and Pearl Lagoon. And on August 27th, in Cornell.
Okay.
So that's the emancipation of the last slavery movement here in this Caribbean. So in commemoration of that, we celebrate the Black Heritage Month.
I mean, something that seems a little different, correct me if I'm wrong, is that in America, after slavery ended, the whites and everybody just stayed there. Everybody remained. But here it seems like British left, and then and then you guys stayed.
There was an order, and the British had to leave.
Had to leave.
They didn't want to, but orders came and they had to leave immediately because there was an order evicted from the fort, and they were like trying to play hard and stay off. But when the last letter came, they had to leave, and that's when the people really received their freedom. We even had black people from here enslaving black people. We had elites. So after the original British people leave, we had a time where the black people who were closer to the masters started enslaving the other black people.
Yeah.
Because they learned all of that and they felt like they were
better,
like the masters.
Yeah.
But then with this emancipation letter that came, that's when that was finished.
Gotcha.
In Crown Island, there's a big celebration, and when the letter got there, and they called up all the masters, all the slave owners, and told them that they had to give the people immediately work. You know, these slaves didn't have anything anywhere to go, but they catch crabs from the ground, and they made a big pot of soup with the things that they planted.
Yeah.
And for years, this celebration was called the crab soup, a festivity. And for years, many people really didn't know. They kept the tradition of the crab soup festivity, but they didn't understand that the celebration was the liberation of the last slaves. But digging down in history, we found out that not only in Crown Island, but also here in Bluefields and Pearl Lagoon was the emancipation days. 10 in Bluefields and Crown Island, and Pearl Lagoon, and the 27th in Crown Island. So.
Okay, and kicking the British out, did you guys, do you think most people were happy with that or were not happy with it? What do you think was the sentiment or the feeling, even now or back then?
How could I say? There are people who long for those days.
Yeah.
There are people who...
Yeah. We're talking black people,
yes,
right? Okay.
Yeah, black people. Yeah, you know, people think they had good treatment and things like that. Some people were naive, you could say like that, but the relationship wasn't that harsh. And long after the British left Bluefields, people keep many of their customs. We can see that in the way they dress to go to church, you know, and the way they kept themselves. So there are people who say they were good days. After the British, we had companies from the U.S. here, and there were big companies that exported banana, mining companies. There was a time that Bluefields was a great city with their own currency, very stable financially, and those are the times that people love. Yeah. And through all of this, there was exploitation, but the people liked the way they lived. They had work, they had money, and it was okay with them. Yeah. So there are people who still think that those were good days.
When I first came to Bluefield, I was born outside the States. My mother's from Chontales.
Okay.
Yeah, so I never even, I never met I didn't know about this culture. But then when I got here, I was like, wow, you guys sound just like Jamaicans. And, you know, so even see people with like dreadlocks. So why are the cultures so similar, even though you guys are so far apart?
Because there was a close relationship with Bluefields and Jamaica. People from here were sent to Jamaica to be prepared to take political participation in the government here. There was a very close relationship between Jamaica and Bluefields. I learned that my great-great-grandfather was a Jamaican. Yeah. He came here, married my grandmother, was from here, So, you know, there was always
That connection.
that close relationship.
And those links are gone. You guys have nothing to really connection with Jamaica anymore, I'm assuming.
Not maybe not physically. Not physically, but I understand that people that go from here to Jamaica feel like they're up.
Yeah, exactly.
The same things happen
Yeah.
when Jamaican come here.
Yeah.
So it's just part of it. The language is very similar.
Yeah.
The Creole language.
Yes.
It's very similar. They love for music.
Yeah.
They love for. So I think we have things in common.
What do you think would be what do you think is a difference between Nicaraguan Creole or Nicaraguan or African culture compared to Jamaican?
In the language, you mean?
In a language or culture?
Well, it's easier for me to state similarity.
Yeah.
It's not easy for any Nicaraguan Creole to understand the Creole of Jamaica. It's similar, but the accent is deeper.
Who's deeper, yours or theirs?
Theirs, for me,
Theirs.
those,
Yes.
theirs
For them, yours is
yeah. But we have been learning because our Creole, for a long period of time, our Creole was only oral. We didn't learn to write or read our Creole language.
Yes.
We spoke Creole, but we learned in Spanish or English.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, there was a movement to rescue the language, and with the help of Jamaicans, Belizeans, and Colombians, we had that some studies, some of us learned to write and to read Creole, and to give the value to the language, because there were people here who were so colonized that they felt like it wasn't a language. Oh, it's a broken English, it's not a language. They spoke very low about the Creole. But personally, I believe that you learn best when you learn your mother tongue.
Yeah.
And then you learn another
Yeah.
second language. But our language was despised for a long time.
Yeah.
People used to say it's not good, and when they tried to take it to the classroom, that's a waste of time. What would they do with that Creole and this and that and the other?
Yeah.
So, they tried to eliminate the Creole, and then we had a problem because we had people speaking Creole and believing that they were speaking English. Maybe they tried to copy the American accent or a British accent, but the structure of the language was different. Let me tell you a difference between Creole and English. You may be able to understand the words I say.
Yeah.
But in Creole, people would say, where you going? Where are you going?
Yeah.
But that's Creole. It's not English.
Yeah.
You don't use a verb to be. Where are you going?
Yeah.
And I like to share this anecdote. I had a friend, and we were listening to some Bible translation story in Creole. And this was Jamaican, I think, yes. And they were translating the story of the creation. And the part where God came down to the earth and was calling, Adam, where you there? Adam, I said, where you there? And my friend said, I don't speak Creole. I don't talk like that. I don't say where you there. So I said to her, okay, tell me that in English. I said, say it to me in English. And she said, Adam, where you is? And I said to her, and listen to English now. I said, Adam, where are you? And she was like, okay, so that's what you spoke. Even if you didn't say where you there, you said where you is, that's Creole.
That's fascinating. I love it.
So people here grew up saying, I speak English. No, you speak Creole. You might try to imitate an English accent, but what you are talking is Creole because the structure is not the English structure.
Are you saying that, I love that story, and I'm so glad you clarified that, because I saw somebody in the street the other day, and I was like, oh, you speak English? And she was like, no, I speak Creole. And I was going to correct her and be like, oh, it sounds like English, but she was right, you're saying.
Yes, sounds like English. I mean, I'm an English teacher. I learned English. But my mother language is Creole.
Okay.
So I can switch. I can switch from one to the other.
So you're saying that you're trying to speak to me in English right now, or you're speaking to me in Creole right now?
I am switching.
You're switching, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed the difference, but I've been talking English, and sometimes I just switch to Creole. Because some things just seem sweeter in Creole.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Certain things. So yeah.
Are you saying that there's a Bible written in Creole, or not?
There is this project that I once visited Honduras to be a part of it. I can't remember the name right now. But these people, North American, they go around the Caribbean finding people who know Creole to translate the Bible.
Oh, wow.
So there is a collection. And I think in this August month in Belize, there's going to be a presentation.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. I love that. Okay. Anything? Oh, is that?
It's really nice to hear the Bible in your own language.
Yeah. Anything else before I guess we wrap it up? Anything else you want us to know about the African experience?
Okay. Besides the British influence, this part of the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua is multicultural. Because before the Afro people came here, we had 3 native ethnic groups, which were the Mosquitoes, the Ulwas, and the Rama. These are all indigenous. They were the people here on this land. Then black people were brought as slaves. We had the British, so it's a mixture of all these cultures. And throughout the years with our government, they have tried hard to bring unity and equity between these 6 ethnic groups that are here. The 6th group, because I mentioned the 3 indigenous groups, the Creole or the black, because we have Creole and we have Garifuna, 2 different. And then the mestizos are the people who came from the Pacific in that time when Bluefields was flourishing with all the companies. People came from the Pacific looking for jobs, and some of them stayed here. What we call them mestizos costeños. You should know about them. Okay, so then, so we live here together, 6 groups, and now at this time we could say there is a respect for one another. We respect each other's culture, we share each other's culture. There was a time that this wasn't so.
Gotcha.
Creole looked down and indigenous mestizos looked down at the Creole, and there were hierarchies. A lot of indifference and a lot of disrespect. But thanks to the Sandinista government, that has changed a lot.
Oh, really?
That has changed a lot. So now we say we are multicultural, we are plurilingual, and we are diversity. Diversity is our strength. We live in unity.
All right. Just tell us again, if you want to tell us your name, and tell us what role do you have here in the museum, and why should people? You seem to know what you're talking about. Why is that the case?
Okay, my name is Diana Aristomene. I'm an English teacher, but I also work for the municipality, and the person responsible for the museum really is Michelle Kelly right here.
May I show you in the video?
Thank you. I am here with her, supporting, and I know a little bit about the history because of my years in the university. I was part of the Afro Commission who did all these studies and research about our culture. So we are trying to teach people the real culture because for many years people didn't really know their background, who they really are. If you don't know where you are coming from, you will never know where you want to go, who you are.
Deep.
So I was privileged to learn this, and I try to share it as much as I can.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure.
All right.